Welcome to the introduction of Gimp, Opacity Slider, Layer Mask, and Gradient Tool, presented by the Fruitland Park Library, Part 3 of 7. Table of Contents, Part 3 of 7, Opacity Slider, Layer Mask, Gradient Tool. The opacity slider in the Layers panel adjusts the amount of transparency for a single layer. At 100.0, the layer will not have any transparency. Adjusting the slider will create a degree of transparency on the layer. The degree for this layer is set for 57.3. Gimp's definition of a layer mask. A layer mask is a non-destructive method for editing a layer. A layer mask allows you to selectively modify the opacity, transparency, of the layer that the layer mask belongs to. The mask will be one of three colors. Black is 100% transparent, white is 100% visible, and gray is partially transparent. This is different from the layer opacity slider. Select two images. Open the images as Open as Layers under the File tab. If your layer needs to be scaled down, use the Scale tool to adjust the size. When using the Scale tool, make sure you have Show Image Preview checked and use the Image Opacity slider to adjust transparency. To add a layer mask, right-click on the top layer and select Add Layer Mask. The Add Layer Mask dialog box will open. Under Initialize Layer Mask, select White, Full Opacity, click Add. The white layer mask will appear as a thumbnail next to the layer's thumbnail. Make sure the foreground color is set to black. Using the paintbrush, remove any part of the layer's background that you do not wish to use. Zoom in whenever necessary to make removing all the small areas easier. Save a copy in Gimp as an .xcf file. Gimp will keep all the modifications and they can be accessed later and changes made if you wish to do so. The Gradient tool can be used to blend two layers together. Select two images and open them as layers. Add a layer mask to the top layer. Under Initialize, select Black, Full Transparency. Click Add. Make sure the layer mask is the active layer by selecting it. Click on the Gradient tool. The settings displayed on the right were used for this tutorial. Click on the layer and drag the tool from the right side to the left and to the desired location, then release the tool. Sometimes more gradient is needed for the desired results. After using the Gradient tool, click on another tool, example the Move tool. Then click on the Gradient tool and apply it again. You can use the Gradient tool more than once on a layer if you click on another tool in between uses. The two layers have been blended using the Gradient tool. Have fun changing the looks of an image. Thank you for joining us for Gimp Opacity Slider, Layer Mask, and Gradient Tool, Part 3 of 7. We hope you enjoyed the tutorial and will be joining us for the remaining parts 4 through 7. If you would like a transcript of this tutorial, please call 352-360-6561.